What if I told you that the exhaustion you carry every single day isn't yours? That it was planted inside you, deliberately and coldly calculated? There is an entire system working to ensure you never have enough energy to question what is really happening around you. You believe you are exhausted because you work hard. But what if the truth is far darker and more deliberate than you ever imagined?
Think carefully.
You wake up and the weight is already there.
You didn't sleep poorly. You aren't sick.
But something inside you feels dead before the day even begins. It is a fatigue that doesn't lift with rest. That doesn't vanish on vacation. That returns every Sunday night like a ghost.
This exhaustion has a name. It has an owner.
And you didn't choose to carry it. It was placed there, piece by piece, with method. This is the kind of content nobody tells you about in the workplace. If you made it this far and felt something deep inside you recognize every single word, drop a comment right now with the word consumed. That tells me you are ready to understand what is truly happening to your professional life. Because what comes next is going to completely change the way you see everything around you.
Don't look away.
There is a silent phenomenon that experts call gradual drainage. It doesn't arrive with screaming. It doesn't come from a brutal firing.
It is slow, surgical.
Like a faucet left open in a dark room that no one notices draining. Every day, a piece of you is absorbed, your creativity, your confidence, your enthusiasm. Until one day you look in the mirror and simply no longer recognize the person staring back at you. A toxic work environment doesn't need to be loud to destroy you. It operates in the silence of meetings where your idea is ignored. In the email copied to your boss without warning. In the compliment that never arrives. In the goal that keeps rising while the salary never follows. Each of these moments is a needle prick. Small enough not to hurt immediately. Large enough to kill you slowly from the inside out. If you are watching this and realizing this is your daily reality, I need you to do one thing right now: save this video. Because you are going to want to come back to it when someone around you doesn't believe what you're about to tell them. And turn on the notification bell, because what is coming in the next content is even deeper and more revealing than everything you have seen so far.
Do it now. Meet Marcus.
Great work on that project.
13 years
Thank
at
you,
one
sir. I
company.
appreciate it.
Never missed a day,
Keep it
never
up. You're going
complained.
places.
First
I
one
will.
in,
Thanks again.
last one out. He believed dedication would be rewarded. Then on an ordinary Tuesday morning, while grabbing coffee, he watched his manager call a younger, less experienced colleague into the office for the role Marcus had been waiting years for.
He didn't scream. Didn't cry.
He simply went dark inside.
Completely. In silence.
Marcus's story isn't the exception.
It is the rule.
It happens in silence, in closed rooms, in spreadsheets where names become numbers. The system doesn't need explicit villains. It was built to function exactly this way, extracting the maximum until the moment you no longer serve the purpose. Then, with absolute coldness, it discards. And immediately hires someone new willing to start everything from absolute zero. You need to understand that what is happening to you is not your weakness. It is their strategy.
Take this.
That is why
It's a
I need you to
lifeline.
share this video
Thank
right
you.
now with
I
someone
feel the
who is
hope.
going through the same thing. Someone you know is being consumed and hasn't realized it yet. Because the information I am about to reveal in the next parts could literally change that person's professional trajectory forever.
Share it now.
Slow consumption has three
This
phases.
is my big
The first
chance.
is seduction.
This is when you are
Something feels
hired and
off in
everything
here.
seems perfect. The salary is
can't turn
good,
back
the
now.
people are friendly, the project is exciting. You give yourself completely.
You work beyond hours.
You sacrifice weekends. You feel you are building something real. But what you don't know is that this phase was calculated specifically to capture all of your available energy and potential. The second phase
The
is
expectations are
normalization.
rising again.
Here, the extraordinary becomes
I
mandatory.
can't keep up
That
with this
overtime you
pressure.
put in voluntarily,
They're crushing
now
me.
it's expected.
That extra effort?
It's the new minimum acceptable standard. The bar rises without any announcement. And when you try to return to a human pace, they look at you as if you failed. As if the mistake is yours. This is the most sophisticated trap the corporate world has ever constructed. The third phase
My
is erosion.
creativity, it's leaving
This
me.
is when you start
And
losing
my
pieces of
confidence is
yourself.
shattering.
First goes the
Joy
energy.
is gone. I'm
Then
just
goes the
empty.
creativity. Then goes the belief that you deserve something better.
You begin to shrink yourself. To accept less.
To smile when you should speak up. To go silent when you should push back. This is not laziness.
This is not incompetence.
This is the exact result the system was designed to produce inside you. There is a term that nobody teaches you in universities or corporate training programs: organizational vampirism. It is the process by which structures and leadership drain what is most valuable from human beings and return crumbs in exchange. False recognition. Vague promises. Titles without real power. You give gold. You receive painted tin. And you are still convinced that you should be grateful for the opportunity. How do you know you are being consumed? First sign, you can no longer get excited about anything. Not even projects that once energized you. It's as if your internal fire was extinguished. Second sign, you now live only for the weekend. Sunday night has become pure dread. Third sign, you have become invisible inside the company. Your ideas go nowhere. You have been reduced to human furniture in someone else's office. Fourth sign, you start doubting yourself. That internal voice that once said, "I know what I am doing," begins to stutter. You second-guess yourself in meetings. You apologize when you shouldn't. You minimize your achievements before anyone else can. This didn't appear randomly. It was carefully cultivated. It is the direct result of an environment that profits from your insecurity. Insecure workers accept less and deliver more. Fifth sign, your body starts screaming what your mouth cannot say.
Constant headaches. Insomnia.
Anxiety that never lifts. Digestive issues with no medical explanation.
The body never lies.
It is the first to register what the mind tries to ignore. When work begins making your physical body sick, it is not coincidence. It is the most honest alarm that exists. And it is going off right now inside you, in this very moment. The most dangerous element of all is the invisibility of the process. Nobody tells you, "We are going to break you down slowly."
On the contrary,
they tell you that you are part of the family, that you are valued, that your future here is brilliant. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, your energy is being counted, your loyalty is being exploited, and your limits are being tested until the exact point where you break without making any noise. There is a fundamental difference between fatigue and consumption.
Fatigue is honest.
It comes from real effort, has an endpoint, and when you rest, it goes away.
Consumption is different. It follows you on vacation.
It shows up in your dreams. It is present on Sunday afternoon even when you are not thinking about work. Because it is not the effort draining you. It is the meaning that has been stolen from you, piece by piece. Have you ever stopped to calculate what you have actually given this company? Add the unpaid overtime. Add the sacrificed weekends. The birthdays you arrived late to. The nights you spent answering messages while your family slept. Now compare that against what you received in return. Not just financially.
Real growth.
Genuine respect. Concrete security. Look honestly at the numbers.
Does that equation balance? For most, it doesn't.
For most people, the answer is no. The equation doesn't balance. And the worst part is that somewhere deep down, you already knew that. But the system trained you to justify it. To say that it's like this everywhere. To believe that complaining is weakness. To fear that if you stop, you will lose everything. That fear is the most efficient chain that exists. And it was not placed around your feet. It was placed inside your mind. But here is where the turning point begins. Because naming the process is the first act of liberation. When you identify exactly what is happening to you, it loses its power. You stop being a passive victim and begin operating as a strategist. And strategists don't react from emotion. They observe, calculate, and act at the right moment. From this point forward, every word you hear becomes a real tool of protection and positioning. The first survival strategy is silent documentation. Record everything. Every promise made verbally. Every project delivered. Every goal exceeded. Every time you went beyond what was asked. Not out of paranoia, but out of clarity. Because when you need to defend yourself, memory betrays. But the time-stamped email, the formal record, those never lie and never disappear on their own when you need them most. The second strategy is energy management. You were trained to give everything all the time. But top corporate players understand that energy is a finite and strategic resource. Giving 100% to everything is the fastest way to have nothing left when it truly matters.
Learn to calibrate.
Deliver excellence on the projects that genuinely build your reputation. On everything else, deliver enough and nothing beyond. That is not laziness. That is intelligence. The third strategy is building external assets. While you give everything to a single employer, you are placing all your eggs in someone else's basket. Start building outside.
A side project.
An external network of contacts. A new skill the market pays for. A digital presence that belongs to you. Because the day the company decides it no longer needs you, you need to already be positioned and prepared for what comes next. The fourth strategy is the mirror protocol. Once a week, in complete silence, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I learn this week? What did I deliver that built my reputation? What did I consume of myself unnecessarily? This exercise seems simple, but is profoundly revealing. It prevents you from waking up 5 years from now not knowing how you got to where you are. It is self-knowledge with real and measurable purpose. There is a type of professional the system simultaneously despises and fears, the strategic indispensable. Not the one who works the most hours. The one who works in a way that no one can easily replace. They build specific knowledge. They master critical processes. They cultivate strategic relationships. And they do all of this with complete conscious intention, not by accident. This is the game you need to learn to play immediately. The toxic workplace has an invisible hierarchy. At the top are those who know the unwritten rules and play by them. In the middle are the confused, who work hard but never advance. At the bottom are the naive, who believe effort alone is enough. The majority of those being consumed are in the middle or the bottom. And no one tells them there is a hidden rulebook governing absolutely everything happening around them. One of the most powerful unwritten rules is this: visibility is worth more than competence. You can be the best at what you do, but if the people who matter don't know you exist, you are invisible. And invisible means disposable. Those who rise are not always the most talented. They are the ones who learn to be in the right room, at the right time, being seen by the right people. That is not luck. That is deliberate positioning. Another unwritten rule: corporate loyalty is a one-way street. The company does not lose sleep thinking about you, but it expects you to lose sleep thinking about it. That asymmetry is brutal and absolutely real. I am not telling you to betray or sabotage anyone. I am telling you to be as strategic with your loyalty as the company is with its own. Give loyalty proportional to what you receive back. Never more. Never less. Now let's talk about something nobody wants to admit: the role you yourself play in your own consumption. Not out of blame, but out of learned patterns. From childhood you were taught that obedience is virtue. That questioning is rebellion. That asking for more is arrogance. These programs running in your mind are the fuel that powers the system. Without them, consumption would have nowhere to install itself and quietly grow inside you. Reprogramming begins with one phrase you will repeat until you believe it: my time and my energy have real and finite value. They are not infinite resources that can be extracted without consequence to me. When you internalize this truth, you begin making different decisions. You begin saying no with firmness. You begin negotiating instead of accepting. You begin positioning yourself as someone who knows exactly what they are worth to the market. Let's talk about the most dangerous moment of this entire journey: silent resignation. This is when someone is still there physically but has emotionally checked out completely. Produces the bare minimum. No longer cares about outcomes. Executes like a machine. This state seems harmless but is the most destructive of all, because it freezes you in a bad place, without energy to leave and without motivation to grow or react in any meaningful way. If you are in silent resignation right now, you need to hear this: you did not arrive here through laziness. You arrived because you gave too much, for too long, to people who never gave enough back. Your internal system shut down because it could not take any more. That is not weakness. That is biological survival intelligence. But now it is time to reactivate. Not for the company. For yourself. For what you will still build beyond this. The exit from slow consumption is not the impulsive resignation. It is the strategic transition. There is an enormous difference between running away and moving forward. Running away is leaving without anywhere to go, driven by pure desperation. Moving forward is leaving with a plan, with resources, with a defined destination and your head held high. Most people run. Strategists advance. And those who advance reach places that those who simply ran never reach in life. Before any move, you need a map. Answer honestly: what are my most valuable skills in the market today? What is my financial position to sustain a transition period? Who in my network can genuinely open real doors? What do I need to learn to become more competitive? These 4 questions, answered with real depth, are worth more than any generic career advice anyone has ever offered you or will offer you moving forward. There is a concept I call the professional point of no return. This is the moment where accumulated damage becomes irreversible without conscious intervention. Destroyed health. Collapsed self-esteem. An obsolete network. Outdated skills. This point exists and it is real. The longer you wait to act, the closer you get to it. The window of opportunity is not eternal.
It is finite.
And that window is open right now, in this exact moment for you. But I need you to understand, even if you are close to that point, there is still time. Human history is full of people completely destroyed by the system who rebuilt themselves into something more powerful than they had ever been before. The difference between them and those who stayed trapped was never talent.
It was decision.
One clear decision, made in a moment of absolute clarity, that changed the trajectory of everything that followed. You made it to the end of this video.
I won't let them extinguish
That
this.
is not an accident.
This belief
It is
is
because
all
some part
I
of
have
you
left.
still believes you deserve
It's
something
the
better.
final asset.
That belief
I must
is the most
protect it.
valuable asset you possess in this exact moment. Do not let it die. Feed it with information, with strategy, with concrete movement. Because systems only consume those who remain still. And you, starting today, are not going to remain still waiting for someone to come and save you. The final message is not about anger. It is not about revenge. It is about clarity. The system is not evil because it consciously wants to destroy you. It is harmful because it was built without ever considering you as a complete human being. But now you know that. And those who know choose. You can continue being fuel for a machine that does not carry your name. Or you can use everything you learned to build something genuinely and entirely your own. You were not tired. You were being consumed. But today, that consumption found its limit. Because you named the process. You understood the hidden rules. You received the real tools. From this point forward, every decision is yours. Every step is yours. Every achievement is yours. The system may have stolen years from you, but it will not steal what comes next. Because what comes next, you are going to build with your eyes wide open,